Today, with hearts full of faith and souls open to grace, we gather to seek the powerful help of Saint Anthony of Padua, the wonder worker of impossible causes. With his gentle intercession and unwavering love, he breaks the invisible chains that bind our lives and opens doors where only walls once stood. If you trust in the transforming power of prayer, I invite you to join this fervent moment of devotion, with the certainty that no trial is too great and no need too urgent for the miraculous aid of Saint Anthony. He becomes a refuge for those in despair, hope for those who feel lost, and strength for the weary. His intercession reaches the broken-hearted, bringing peace where there was conflict, healing where there was pain, and light where all seemed dark. In this time of prayer, let us place with confidence our urgent needs in his blessed hands, assured that through his intercession heaven will answer with mercy and renewal. As an act of faith, write in the comments, "Saint Anthony, obtain for me the miracle I seek." Your words may become a seed of faith in the life of someone else. Thank you for being here. Your presence in this prayer is a bridge between heaven and earth. When we pray together, the power of faith multiplies, and miracles unfold through the intercession of Saint Anthony of Padua. If you are not yet part of our community, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel and leave your like. By doing so, you help spread this devotion and bring comfort to many more hearts in need. Share this video with your loved ones on social media and WhatsApp. It may be the blessing someone has been waiting for. Now, with a willing heart and a serene spirit, let us begin this powerful prayer. O glorious Saint Anthony of Padua, saint of the impossible miracles and helper of those who have no way out, today I come before you with a broken heart and a soul filled with urgency. In this very moment, I bow in humility, acknowledging that I do not have the strength to overcome what I am facing. You who for centuries have been called the intercessor of desperate cases, the protector of those who have lost all hope, listen to my trembling voice and my cry that rises to heaven with tears and with faith. Blessed Saint Anthony, I know that your kindness is immense, that your gaze of compassion never turns away from those who approach you with confidence. You who were a close friend of the poor and a consoler of the afflicted, you who dedicated your entire life to reflecting the love of Christ in every word and every deed, do not turn away from my burning plea. Today I come to you because the need is great, because urgency presses upon my soul, and because I no longer know where else to turn. Miraculous Saint Anthony, you who preached the gospel with such fervor and who became an instrument of wonders so great, hear my desperate request. I find myself before an unbreakable wall, facing a situation that men call impossible, yet I know that for the power of God nothing is closed, nothing is beyond reach, and you, as a faithful intercessor, are the bridge that carries my plea to the throne of the Almighty. With my soul bowed down, I dare to cry out to you. Help me, Saint Anthony, do not let me fall into despair. Look at the tears that flow from my eyes. Look at the emptiness in my heart. Look at the anguish that grips my being. You who so many times became the refuge of those who did not know where to go, be now my shelter in this battle. Glorious Saint Anthony, the world knows of your miracles, your heavenly interventions, your readiness to assist those who had nothing and those who had lost everything. It is said of you that your power is so great that even what was lost is found again, that the impossible becomes possible, and that what is closed is opened through your intercession. Today I cling to that truth with all my faith. I who feel lost need to be found. I who feel defeated need your help to rise again. I who find myself in a dead end beg you to open a path of light where now there is only darkness. Blessed Saint Anthony, today I place in your hands my concrete plea, this urgent miracle that I so desperately need and that you know even before I utter it. You know what I keep in the deepest part of my soul, that request that keeps me awake, that need that consumes me, that pain that gives me no peace. With all humility and with the faith of a child who trusts his protector, I deposit it into your kind heart, certain that you will present it before God with insistence and with love. You, Saint Anthony, who were called the hammer of heretics for the power of your words, come now to fight against everything that opposes my peace. You who were a friend of the child Jesus, bring into my life the tenderness and strength of that divine love that conquers all. You who on earth walked helping the afflicted, come now to help me in my sorrow. Saint Anthony, I know that I am not worthy. I know that my errors and my falls have often taken me away from the path of grace. But I also know that your intercession is not based on human merits, but on the infinite mercy of God. That is why today I approach with trust, with the certainty that in your heart there is no rejection for the one who cries out sincerely, even if he comes broken and wounded. Look at my need, Saint Anthony, and hear the voice of my plea. May your powerful presence reach me now, in this very instant of anguish. Just as those who invoked you in the past saw astonishing responses, I too long to experience the grace of your help. Beloved Saint Anthony, if ever someone doubted your power, I proclaim today that you are a true intercessor, that your voice before God is heard, that your hands raised in supplication open the closed gates of heaven. That is why I spiritually prostrate myself at your feet, and with all humility I say to you, lead me by the hand to that miracle that I so urgently need. May your blessing cover me, may your compassion lift me up, may your strength sustain me. Saint Anthony, do not allow me to remain drowning in despair. Pull me out of this abyss, help me see the way out, guide my steps toward the answer that I long for with all my heart. Today I also want to recognize that the miracles God grants through your intercession are not only for me but also for testimony. If you, Saint Anthony, grant me this grace, I will not remain silent about your kindness. I will tell others what you have done for me. I will proclaim that you are a powerful intercessor and that your help never fails. Grant me the grace to persevere in this prayer, even if the time is prolonged. Give me the strength to keep trusting even if the miracle seems delayed. Give me the humility to accept God's ways, even when I do not understand them. And above all, give me the faith to never let go of your hand, Holy Protector. Saint Anthony, hear my desperate plea. Look at my heart burning with faith. Look at my soul crying with all its strength. May this urgent miracle that I so desperately need become present in my life through your intercession. Today, with a trembling voice but a willing spirit, I declare that I trust in you, Saint Anthony. I declare that your intercession knows no limits, that your power is backed by the infinite grace of the God of heaven. I declare that my plea will not fall into the void, because it is sustained by your constant prayer and by your generous love. That is why I dare to say to you, thank you, Saint Anthony. Even though I do not yet see the miracle fulfilled, thank you because I know that you are already working. I know that you have already carried my plea to the throne of God. I know that at this very moment heaven is moving in my favor. Do not let me go, Saint Anthony. Walk with me in this dark valley. Guide my steps until the light appears. Strengthen my faith until I see with my own eyes the grace that now I can only imagine. Today I join all those who throughout history have invoked you in their need and have not been left disappointed. I want to be one more who testifies to your goodness. And even if my voice trembles, even if my strength falters, even if my heart feels fear, I will keep trusting in you, because I know that you never abandon those who call upon you with faith. Glorious Saint Anthony, hear my desperate cry. Here I am with a naked soul, with an open heart, with faith placed in you. Take my plea, take my urgency, take my pain and present it before the Almighty. May through your powerful intercession I receive the miracle that I so desperately need, and may my life, transformed by grace, be forever a hymn of gratitude to your name. O beloved Saint Anthony of Padua, faithful servant of the Most High and tireless friend of all who suffer, today I come before you once again with a heart that bleeds in silence and eyes that cannot hold back their tears. My burdens are heavy, my strength is weak, and my spirit trembles under the weight of the cross I carry. Yet even in this valley of shadows, I dare to lift my eyes to you, my heavenly protector, because I know that your intercession is powerful and your heart is filled with mercy. Saint Anthony, in your life you understood the pain of the human heart. You knew what it was to see people broken, families in need, and souls consumed by despair. You walked the streets of Padua not as a man distant from suffering, but as a brother who drew near to the cries of the people. You comforted them, you lifted their spirits, and you offered them the hope of God's unfailing love. That is why today I dare to open my soul before you and place all my anguish in your hands. I confess to you, dear Saint Anthony, that sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I look at the storm that surrounds me and my heart wonders if there will ever be calm again. I look at my wounds and I wonder if they will ever heal. I look at my tears and I wonder if they will ever be wiped away. But in that same moment of doubt, I remember that you are called the wonder worker, the friend of the desperate, the voice of those who have no voice. And my hope is renewed because if you have helped countless souls through the centuries, then you can also help me. Today I place all my suffering into your hands, Saint Anthony. I place my fear, my worry, and my desperate longing for a miracle. I give you my sleepless nights, my trembling thoughts, and my anxious heart. I lay before you the weight of everything that feels impossible. Receive it with compassion, carry it to the heart of Christ, and let His mercy pour over me like a healing river. Saint Anthony, I ask you not only for the miracle I so urgently need, but also for the strength to endure this trial with faith. Teach me how to wait without despair. Teach me how to trust even when all doors seem closed. Teach me how to believe that God's timing is perfect, even when my heart longs for an immediate answer. O blessed intercessor, when you carried the child Jesus in your arms, you held in your embrace the very source of all hope and healing. Let me feel that same embrace through your prayer. Wrap me in the comfort of heaven, so that I may know that even in my darkest hour, I am not abandoned. Let me sense the nearness of God through your presence, so that I may walk with courage while waiting for the miracle to unfold. You know, dear Saint Anthony, how hard it is for a human heart to wait in silence. The days feel long, the nights feel endless, and the soul grows weary. Yet I know that waiting in faith produces strength, and trusting in God produces miracles. So I ask you, Saint Anthony, to intercede for me not only for the grace of the miracle itself, but for the grace of unwavering trust while I wait. Take my impatience and turn it into patience. Take my doubts and transform them into confidence. Take my fear and turn it into courage. Take my tears and turn them into seeds of hope that will bloom when the miracle comes. Saint Anthony, I do not ask to be free of trials forever, for I know that life on earth is a path of crosses and struggles. But I do ask that in this particular trial, so heavy, so urgent, so overwhelming, you be my companion and my advocate. Stand by me as I walk through this fire. Intercede for me so that the flames do not consume me but instead purify me. Speak for me before God so that His mercy may descend and transform this situation into a testimony of His love. I trust that you know my heart better than I can explain it. Sometimes words fail me and my prayer is only tears. Sometimes my voice breaks and all I can do is sigh. Yet you, Saint Anthony, can take even the smallest whisper of my soul and carry it to the Lord. You understand what I cannot express, and you bring it before the throne of God with love. That is why today, with a trembling heart, I tell you again, I place everything in your hands. I surrender the outcome, the process, and even the timing into the care of your intercession. I may not see the full picture, but I believe you do. I may not understand why things happen as they do, but I believe that through your prayer, light will come into the darkest corner of my life. Saint Anthony, remind me that miracles are not only sudden changes in circumstances, but also transformations of the heart. Even as I wait for the miracle I so urgently desire, Let my soul be renewed. Let me grow in faith, let me grow in patience, let me grow in surrender to God's will. Let me not waste this trial in bitterness, but let me embrace it as a path toward deeper intimacy with the Lord. Still, I do not cease to beg for the urgent miracle that presses upon my heart. I cry out to heaven with all my strength. Let the impossible become possible. Let the door that is closed swing open. Let the grace I seek come quickly through your intercession. Saint Anthony, work on my behalf as you have done for so many others. Lift my eyes when they fall. Strengthen my hands when they grow weak. Calm my spirit when it trembles. Let my soul rest in the certainty that God is working even when I cannot see it. And when impatience rises, whisper to my heart, trust, for the miracle is on its way. Saint Anthony, I imagine you walking beside me in this moment, listening to my cry, holding my hand as I place all my burdens upon you. And in that vision I find peace, because I know that you do not abandon those who call upon you with faith. You walk with them, you fight for them, you intercede for them until the grace of God is revealed. So today I choose to walk not in despair but in hope. I choose to wait not in fear but in faith. I choose to cry not only tears of sorrow but tears of trust. For I believe that through your intercession my miracle is not only possible, it is certain. Saint Anthony, stay close to me in these hours of trial. Let your prayer surround me like a shield. Let your presence fill me with courage. Let your intercession bring me the grace I so desperately seek. And when the day comes that my prayer is answered, I will remember this time of waiting not with bitterness, but with gratitude, for it was here in the waiting that I discovered the depth of God's love through you. O Saint Anthony, the miracle I seek feels urgent, it feels impossible, it feels beyond my human reach. But when I remember your life, when I recall your power as an intercessor, my faith is strengthened. I remember that nothing is too small or too great for you to bring before God. I remember that countless people have seen the impossible reversed through your prayer. I remember that your very name has become synonymous with hope. There are stories of mothers who prayed to you for their sick children and saw them healed. Stories of families who had lost everything and through your intercession found provision. Stories of men and women who had wandered in despair and found peace when they turned to you. The world is filled with these testimonies, Saint Anthony, and today I long to add my voice to that great chorus of gratitude. But before the miracle arrives, I come to you in faith. I choose to proclaim your greatness not only after I have received but before. I choose to glorify God for what He will do through you even as I wait. I choose to say, Saint Anthony, you are my helper, my advocate, my friend in heaven, and through you my miracle is coming. Saint Anthony, I ask you to strengthen my faith in this very moment. Do not allow doubt to whisper lies to my heart. Do not allow despair to poison my hope. Instead, let me be filled with bold confidence, the same confidence that so many saints had when they turned to God through you. Let me believe, truly believe, that the power of heaven is greater than the power of my trial. O blessed wonder worker, if you could hold the child Jesus in your arms, surely you can carry my plea in your heart. If God entrusted you with such intimacy, surely He continues to entrust you with the prayers of His people. And if your intercession was powerful while you walked on earth, how much more powerful is it now that you behold the face of God in glory? That is why I cry out to you without fear. I do not come timidly but boldly, for I know that your friendship with God is strong. You stand close to His throne, and your words are like sweet incense rising before Him. When you pray, heaven listens. When you intercede, chains break. When you speak on behalf of those who call upon you, miracles are released. So today, Saint Anthony, I ask you to take my urgent petition into your hands and place it directly before the Lord. Whisper my name in His presence. Present my tears as an offering. Lay my broken heart at His feet and beg Him to show His mercy. I believe that when you speak, He listens. I believe that when you plead, He responds. I believe that through you the grace I need will be poured out abundantly. Saint Anthony, I long for the day when I too can give testimony of your power. I long for the moment when I can tell others, I prayed to Saint Anthony and my life was changed. I long to proclaim that in my hour of greatest need, you did not fail me, you did not turn away, you did not delay in coming to my aid. That is why even now, before the miracle has appeared, I begin to thank you. I begin to honor you. I begin to proclaim that your intercession is already at work. O glorious saint, remind me that miracles are not just stories from the past, but living realities in the present. Remind me that heaven is not closed, that God's love has not ceased, that the power of intercession is as strong today as it was centuries ago. Let me live in the awareness that at this very moment, the unseen is moving, the impossible is shifting, and the miracle is on its way. Saint Anthony, let my heart rest in this truth. You are working, God is listening, and heaven is near. Let me find peace in that truth, even as I continue to beg with all my soul. I ask you, dear friend of the desperate, to make my prayer your own. Take my words, take my longing, take my tears and wrap them in your holiness. Present them as if they were your own cry, for I know that God cannot resist your prayer. He listens to you as a father listens to his beloved child. He honors you as one who lived in perfect devotion to his will. And he delights to answer the petitions you bring before him. So once again I cry to you, Saint Anthony, obtain for me this urgent miracle. Break the chains that hold me down. Open the doors that have been closed. Heal the wounds that bleed within me. Provide what is lacking. Restore what has been lost. Bring forth the light of God into the darkness of my life. I will not stop asking, I will not stop believing, I will not stop hoping, because I know that through you the answer is already coming. I choose to stand in faith, to walk in confidence, to live in gratitude, even as I wait for the full manifestation of the miracle. Saint Anthony, great wonder worker, thank you for hearing me. Thank you for carrying my plea. Thank you for being my friend and intercessor. I trust you completely and I entrust my whole life into your hands. Amen.